this? It's a picture of me and Saori. What does this mean? Why are you crying? Did you see the backside? The back? Dear Shuta, looks like you've safely survived. Because you survived this time again, you will continue to play in the liar's game. What does this mean? Who's Shuta? Who? But aren't you Shuta? Huh? My name is Shuta. What the hell does that mean? In a second, I was injected with a substance that returned all my memories to me. What the hell does it all mean? It seems I'm regaining consciousness bit by bit. Finally, I could see. Farewell. Ah! I avoided the knife just in the nick of time and pushed the girl off me onto the floor. What are you doing? That was dangerous. Any more and you would have killed me. Then I noticed all my memories had returned. Saori and I were the two masterminds behind this game. We were accomplices. The liar's game was created to execute killers. When we were both little, our mothers were murdered, our families gone. This game had become our revenge against those who kill. Saori and I had played this liar's game over and over. Combining our rage together, we were able to take our revenge on murderers. However, this time, it seems like Saori was trying to kill me before I regained my memories. Why, me? I'm sorry. Saori, were you going to kill me? What the hell were you thinking? Besides, that person in the black hoodie who was following after that idol in the last part of the game, was that you too? Why did you do that? Certainly that black hoodie and knife belonged to me. You took those without permission. Were you planning on killing her too? Up till now, I thought you were with me until the end. Why did you want to kill that idol? The truth is, that idol said, let's try to kill Shuta. That guy's a murderer, so let's kill him first. Kill me? That idol planned everything, huh? She noticed you were gathering evidence about her. That's why she decided she had to kill you before the next trial. Of course, I declined her offer. But she was gonna do it by herself. That's why before she could kill you, I knew I had to do something. So that's what it was. You were protecting me. Then, even more so, why, try and kill me? I just want this to end. End? What do you mean? Suddenly, a siren began to go off in the room. Time for the execution! Peter suddenly burst into the room. Huh? What did you say? Time to execute Miss Saori. Peter, what do you mean execute Saori? This was decided by Miss Saori herself. Saori? What is the meaning of this? You... Well then, let's begin the execution. Hold on, Peter! Let me talk to Saori. You cannot cancel the execution. Then run, Saori! Get out of here! What? Just go! The final drop. Wait! No. Me and him. No! The execution is complete. Before my eyes was Saori's twisted body. Why? Saori, why did you? And then I noticed she was clasping something in her hand. Is this a suicide note? These messy scribbles were Saori's final words. Why did you write this? What the hell does this mean? I decided to read what Saori held so desperately in her hands. In the past, our special one was killed, and now we only lived in despair. For us, executing those murderers was the only way to give our lives any meaning at all. I didn't have a father when I was young. My mother raised me all by herself. I was happy. Even though I didn't have a dad, I loved my mom. I was proud of her for it. However, those happy days would suddenly come to an end. It was my birthday. Only on special occasions would my mom and I go out to eat. Since it was a special day, she took me to a Western restaurant and got my favorite omurice for me. My mom was just happy to watch me eat. It was past 9 o'clock that night. We were walking home, hand in hand together. I forgot. Summer had ended and it was an ominous fall day, October 21st. From behind, a fierce speeding car drove straight towards us. It was a spur-of-the-moment thing that I didn't understand back then. In a second, my mother scooped me up and shielded me with her body. Without a thought, she sacrificed herself to protect me. After the hit, the car fled the scene without a care. I refused to leave my mother's side as the life left her. Onlookers had gathered around. In the distance, I could hear the siren of an ambulance. I didn't understand what had happened, and I cried. My mother used the last bit of her strength. Thank goodness, you're safe. Those were my mom's last words. My mom soon lost consciousness after that, and she was rushed to the hospital, but was pronounced dead. The runaway driver was promptly arrested. That day, they testified that they had been drinking at a friend's party and were simply driving home. In other words, a drunk driver. Losing my mom With no one else, I was sent away to an orphanage. And that was where I met Shuta. At the time, I was depressed and rarely tried to talk to anyone. I closed myself off, even to myself. And then Shuta's voice reached through to me. Let's get revenge together. I had heard rumors that his situation was the same as mine. At the beginning, I was shocked, but I decided to follow his offer through. Encouraging words don't work in the depths of despair. Those words are weak, but his words of revenge, they shook my heart. I could see his brilliance. I could see he wanted to help. And so, for many years, we thought of how we would carry out our revenge. In the end, we thought of the liar's game. When the first execution happened, I remember being so scared I couldn't sleep for days. That those around me were murderers. They had killed a human being. And I would say that to myself over and over. By doing that, I was able to execute them without a single care. However, we noticed something. That a part of our hearts was shrinking. Once you've gone there, you can't go back. We had reached the point of no return. Our hearts were so far away we could no longer see them anymore. The reason we took our own lives this time was not out of remorse or guilt. This was a decision I came to on my own. It might not have been appropriate to write this as a final message. With this man, Shuta, I fell in love with him. It amazed even me. In my despair, I was enveloped in the feelings of living solely to carry out my revenge. If it weren't for Shuta, I never would have felt anything ever again. To think it took our insane game that executed killers. I don't think I have the right to love anyone. Because I just couldn't stand the thought of letting this insanity continue any longer. At least I was able to kill the man I loved with my own hands. I knew that dying was the only thing I could do for the man I loved. And that is my final answer. Perhaps in another life, I could meet you normally. Go on a date like everyone else. Get married. Raise a family. Live happily. And spend the years together. I wish I could die thinking I was happy. I hadn't intended this final message to be, in fact, my last confession. Somehow, it's embarrassing. Well, I guess that's it. Farewell, Saori. That was what was written in Saori's letter. She loved me? That fool. I grasped my head, and in front of me I could see a mirror that showed my reflection. It had been so long since I'd seen my own reflection. There I stood, in despair and exhaustion. What was it that I spent so long working towards? Suddenly, I felt empty, and the foolishness of my actions washed over me. What is this feeling inside me? When I thought that, a tear slid down my cheek. Is this a tear? I didn't understand why, but I was crying. What are these tears for? This feeling, what is it for? Did a small piece of my heart remain? This warm feeling, happy memories, a special person. My mind isn't just made up of just me. There are important people in my life who live inside me. I don't know why I thought that now, of all times. What should I do? Why am I still here? What do I live for from now on? I feel like I'll collapse in any second. But I take one step forward, and it keeps me from falling down. What for? To support myself? To keep walking forward? I had suddenly stepped out. That step. I want to live. My heart, it says it wants to live. Okay, so that was Liar's Game. That ending was a little bit emotional, and I apologize, but I was bawling my eyes out. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I enjoyed the murders. I do wish we could have seen the other two, Seiko and the Yankee guy. It would have been cool to see what they had done, but I imagine just generic kind of deaths. But maybe in the future they'll revisit, maybe do an AU of some sort, kind of like with another. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the game. I'd be interested to see how you guys took it. Did you like it? Do you prefer this to Wolf Game or any of the others? And yeah, that is the end of the Liar's Game. Thank you so much for hanging here with me this whole time. And I'll see you in the next project. See you later.